Now from SRV Studios, Mr. Craig Thatcher.
Well, it seems like only yesterday I sat upon his knee. I was just a little boy, he was 33. He used to tell me stories of his adventures on the sea. Whenever I was worried, he was always there for me. Oh, Daddy, I remember you always were my hero, I never told you so. And how I wish I had the chance to see you once again. 'Cause you were just my father, you were my closest friend. And as I grew older, there were times we disagreed. I thought I had all the answers, that I knew more than he. My life finally got on track, now it's plain to see the way he lived his life each day, an example just for me. Oh, Daddy, I remember you always were my hero, I never told you so. How I wish I had the chance to see you once again. 'Cause you were just my father, you were my closest friend. One day, it seems not long ago, I got that fateful call. Your daddy took sick, you better hurry home quick. When I got there, he was gone. Good Lord called him home that night, and I was left to carry on. Even now I can hear his voice saying, son, you've gotta be strong. Oh, Daddy, I remember you always were my hero, I never told you so. How I wish I had the chance to see you once again. 'Cause you were just my father, you were my closest friend. No, you were just my father, you were my closest friend.
Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the Schuylkill River Valley for Sidetrack Sunday number 1 for July 2022. I really hope you enjoyed that song tonight. It is my favorite of Craig's songs. It was written for, Craig wrote that for his dad, but actually it's one that I could have easily written for my own. For my own father, that is. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate that, man. For some reason, they don't seem to be popping up on the screen tonight, so I'm not really sure what I did wrong. But I obviously don't have that set up. Anyhow, you didn't hear it, Artie? You'll have to go back and watch the replay. Sorry, man. anyhow, like I said, that was written for Craig's dad, but I could have really written it for my father. Kind of a little backstory. My dad always loved music, but he was very much into big band and marches, anything with lots of horns. And he just never thought much of a guitar, and never thought guitar players were actual musicians. So one Father's Day, I took my dad and my mom out to eat for Father's Day, and it was it's no longer there, but it was a really great small little restaurant, a little Italian restaurant that Craig played at regularly. But one night a week he would play an acoustic, very dinner music type show. So I told Craig that I was bringing my dad up for Father's Day, and I asked him if he would play "Daddy, I Remember." Well, to say that it left my father and my mother in tears would be an understatement. But that song totally changed my father's view of guitars and guitar players. When he heard what Craig could do with that guitar in his hand, he was hooked. And in fact, he had me get copies of Craig's CDs for his car, and that's all he listened to for the rest of his life when he was driving. And he enjoyed everything. He even enjoyed the Jimi Hendrix covers that Craig recorded. And of course, I made sure that I told my father that was a Jimi Hendrix song. Lehigh River Subdivision. Ian, yes, you certainly saw Craig at Music Fest. Craig was artist in residence at Music Fest for, 14 or 15 years. And he still plays at Music Fest every year. You may have seen him at the Steel Stacks. He plays there regularly. And he plays lots of places around the Lehigh Valley. There's J.J. McGuigan. Hey, pal, I'm glad you can make it, and I'm glad you enjoyed the song. J.J. is currently taking guitar lessons from Craig, and I was pretty sure that he probably never heard that Craig play that song. It's not something Craig usually plays live, and I can understand that. I don't know really how he could ever get through that song without choking up. So let me say hello to a few people here, since I've been babbling on here for a while. All right, we've got Anthony Dodge, the Model Train Outsider. Artie from Awesome America Model Railroad. Derailed Darrell's here. Good to see you, Darrell. And don't worry, Darrell, I don't hold any grudges. I'm not going to time you out. There's Rick from Fultz Bailey Model Railroad, one of my Sidetrack Sunday buddies. Brian from Inked Rails, good to see you. Jeff, the Railroad Enthusiast, great to see you. There's JJP McGuigan. Real happy to see you, pal. I hope Jared made it with you. Joe Rader, Black Rock Central, good to see you. There's Dwight Curley. Lehigh River Subdivision's here. So is Lynn McCurdy. Lynn was here earlier, and he took a nap, and I'm glad to see he made it back in time, Lynn. Let's see, who else is here? Mr. Jimbo Trains is here. So is Norman Rowe. Norman was the first one in. Let's see, is Roy Eltham. Good to see you, Roy. Sean McGee's here. Good to see you, Sean. Steve, 87th PSAP. Good to see you, Steve. And there's Rob from RU Naked 4. Good to see you, Rob. Hope everybody's doing well. Let's see, who else is here? I know Chris from Go Via or Go Home was here. I see James Galton dropped in. Oh, I almost forgot Ethan Armitage was here. There's Thomas Grassi. Good to see you, Tom. And let's see, let me scroll through here real quick. And there's Heath from Humanity Junction. And he's trying to clean up his mess pile while listening to the stream. Good to see you, Heath. Another Sidetrack Sunday inmate. And Bill from New Fenris Railroad. Good to see you, Bill. Let's see, James Galton. I may have said hello to you, I hope. If not, hi, James. Hope your move is going well, James. Let's see, who else did I miss here? I must have missed somebody. I think I said hi to Dwight, Steve 87th. I'm probably repeating some people here, but better to repeat you than ignore you. So let's see here. I'm sorry I can't pop your comments up on screen tonight for some reason. I'm not really sure why they're not working, but they're not. So, Train Freak says, inmate, you mean the Nut House residents? Well, it's pretty much the same thing, Jason. There's Edward from Happy Valley Hobbies. Good to see you, Edward. Let's see here. All right, I think I got everybody. If I did miss you, please stick your hand up, and I'll be sure to say hi. And anybody else who's just hanging out, not chatting, welcome. I'm real happy to see everybody here. Let's see, there's Pennsylvania and Northwestern Railroad. Appreciate you stopping in. So I wanted to say happy 4th of July to everybody. At least everybody in the U.S. The guys in Artie and the guys down under, it's probably just another Monday to them. As with our Canadian friends, I don't think the 4th means very much to them. Now, as far as our UK buddies, that could go either way. I'm not really sure whether they're bitter because we left or celebrating because they got rid of us. Although I do have... Oh, Rick's R&L Railroad. I missed you earlier. Good to see you, Rick. And I also missed John Benicki. John's in here. Good to see you, John B. So, anyhow, I do have an idea of how the UK guys feel about this. My father's sister, several years ago, after her husband of many years passed away, she met a guy, David, from somewhere in the UK. I'm not really sure where. I usually don't have trouble with UK accents, but David can be a little bit tough. And Steve 87th just reminded me that Canada Day was on the 1st. And I did see that, and happy Canada Day to our Canadian friends. Anyway, my Aunt Mary met this guy, David, and David's a great guy. I like the guy. And I think it was last year, I sent him an email wishing them, happy 4th of July. Of course, my aunt responded in kind. But David's response was that he refuses to acknowledge any holiday that celebrates a violent uprising against a lawful monarch, which I thought was one of the best responses I had ever heard. David does have a sense of humor, or at least I think he was kidding. And Rob says he's not sure how the Brits feel about July 4th. He noticed they haven't come back for seconds, though. Yeah, I noticed that too, Rob. I wonder if that's saying anything. So it's great to see everybody here. Anthony Judge just asked Rob if he missed the War of 1812. Hey, there's Jerry. Good to see you, Jerry. I appreciate you being here, man. And Norman Rowe thinks it's time for another uprising. I'll mention that to David, Norman, see what he has to say about that. Chris says, what about the aliens? Didn't y'all get them on Independence Day? Yeah. Yeah, I think we did there, Chris. Ethan, thank you. It's great to see you, man. Let's see. All right. So, RDNT, Randy, great to see you, man. Excuse me. For some reason, my mouth always gets awfully dry on these live streams. Anyway, I'm back to work. Thomas Gracie says they're not too happy about Thanksgiving either. Yeah, you're probably right, Thomas. So I'm back to work tonight on the diorama. Ethan, I'm really sorry. I would love to have you up here, but I'm not using StreamYard. And although I can have guests, I have to be set up for that ahead of time, and I'm not. So I'm real sorry, Ethan, but I won't be able to have you up tonight. Let's see. The alien was related to Chris Rock. Okay, Rick. Okay, so Brian, let's see. Schuylkill River Valley, you're talking. That's why your mouth gets dry. You're normally typing to communicate. Yeah, you're right, Brian. But oddly enough, at work when I have to talk, my mouth doesn't usually get this dry. Something about sitting here in front of a microphone, I think, is what the real problem is. So I don't have all that much planned today. I kind of I didn't get much worked out this week, and but I do have some things. So I'm going to get back to work on the diorama a little bit. So let me put you folks on hold here for just a second. And let me, Edward, going solo tonight? Yes, I usually do, Edward. The Sidetrack Sunday guys are just a distraction, so I usually leave them out. I'm kidding, of course. We have a lot of fun, but yes, my live streams are generally solo, just because, like I said, I have to have everything set up ahead of time. And without using StreamYard, so it doesn't. So I don't usually go that route. There's John from Mystic Southern Railroad. Great to see you. And Rick Bailey says the live show always makes him nervous and sweaty. Let's see. Okay, so. And Sean says John is a one-man band. Okay, yeah, I'll accept that. All right, so let me put you folks on hold here for just a second while I rearrange my camera and my desk and get the diorama up here. Jason, you're right. It wouldn't be as much fun if you weren't distracting. Steve 87 says he was going to say that, and that's why my live streams actually end. Yep, no Heath live streams here. And Artie says that I'm afraid the show will fall off the bridge. What do you mean, that Rick's bridge? That is a pretty big bridge. So, all right, let me put you on hold, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I wasn't really paying attention to your to the chat there, but I did see something about baby making, and I don't think we're going to be doing any demos on baby making tonight. So, all right, Ian's got the peanuts and ice cold beer. And Sean, that's not quite nappy time music. It's a song that's called SRV. It's written in the style of Stevie Ray Vaughan. I wouldn't actually call Stevie Ray nappy time. Manny Fernandez, good to see you. Appreciate you stopping in. And Steve 87th, yes, just remember John is the organized, smarter one of STS. That's why he has no other guests. Good point, Steve. Okay, so here's the diorama where I left it off last time. I think I'm going to be. Ethan wants to know where my trains are. Unfortunately, Ethan, I'm in my office. I have two train layouts. My HO scale layout is right next door, right over that way, in my train room, and my N-scale layout is down in the basement. And unfortunately, I'm not really set up to stream from either place. I do plan on doing that at some point, but I just haven't gotten there yet. So let's see. Somebody said something here and noticed. David from F&B Railroad, good to see you. Appreciate you being here, man. And let's see. You're right, Norman. Stevie was definitely influenced by Jimmy. Lots and lots of people were influenced by Jimmy. In fact, I wanted... Artie says the trains aren't running because they haven't paid the power bill. I hate paying that bill, Artie. Actually, when I was in fourth grade, it was time. You know, the school had this thing that in fourth grade is when you were supposed to pick up a musical instrument, and I wanted to play guitar. But I went to Catholic school, and the nuns really hated Jimi Hendrix, so I wasn't allowed to play guitar. Unfortunately. So somehow I ended up with a clarinet, which is an absolutely, it's a beautiful instrument, but it is no fun to play. And Rob says Jimmy was influenced by many things. Yes, he was, Rob. Yes, he was. So I think what I'm going to start with tonight is over here is what will be a footpath. Running down on the mountain, well, not mountain, little hillside here, and I'm planning on having a few people, maybe a dog or something, taking a hike along the path. So I'm going to start here by, if I can get this stupid thing open. There we go. So I'm going to start here with a little weathering powders. And just lighten up the path a bit. So this is a sand color. I don't know how well Jimmy's inspiration often went up in smoke. Yes, you're right, Rick. And let's see. No Jimmy in here. John smacks him on the head with a roller. Randall Ellison, good to see you, Randall. And Ken N is here. Good to see you, Ken. Absolutely. Jimmy was definitely influenced by Buddy Guy. You should have played the flute and rocked out some Jethro Tull. Now that would have been fun. Jethro Tull was always one of my favorites. Let's see. I wonder where this. Oh, excuse me. Artie wants to know if this bridge is going to be put into commission this year. I hope so, Artie. I'm kind of running out of things that I can stall with, so I'm going to have to get to it pretty soon. So I'm just wanting to lighten up this this path a little bit here. Make it look like people have actually been walking on it. Locomotive breath. Yes, you're right, Jason. That's one of Jethro Tull's most commercial pieces. And as much as I like it, I wouldn't say it was my favorite. Anthony Dodge got smacked with a ruler as a little kid in preschool by a nun for writing left-handed. Anthony, my mother was left-handed, but she went to Catholic school and was not allowed to write left-handed. She had to write right-handed. In fact, they tied her left hand behind her back to make sure that she wrote right-handed. And the rest of her life, she did everything left-handed except right. She always wrote right-handed. Aqualung, yes, absolutely. Raymond Anthony, good to see you. Appreciate you stopping in. Let's see. Did I start out with a thin, even coat of liquid white? Actually, Randall, on my the backdrops for the HO scale layout, that was painted in Bob Ross's style, and yes, I definitely started with some liquid white. Or do you think I've been taking stalling lessons from Heath? I don't know, man. I'm actually doing some work here. Okay, so this is just some, what are these colors? Sand and light sand. I don't know if, oh yeah, they're showing up there. Okay, good. Just want to look like people have been walking on this for a bit. So I don't really have all that much left to do with the scenery. I got to put in a little bit more grass, replant my trees. I took them out last month so that I could put down some dried leaves and some ground cover, and then I can get to the bridge, the track, and the control building. Let's see. Anthony Dodge says, my parents weren't Catholic. I was just next door to where my dad worked. And I lost it. Oh, well, lost you there. Sorry, Anthony, I lost you. There's Kurt Doral. Good to see you, Kurt. Appreciate you being here. You said your parents weren't Catholic. Mine were. In fact, my mother's parents, my mother's father was Catholic. But her mother was Protestant. She was actually Pennsylvania Dutch. And she was what they called at the time a black Protestant, which had nothing to do with race. But it referred to the fact that they absolutely hated the Catholics. My grandmother grew up where they would throw stones at the church when they walked past. But she met my grandfather and she fell in love with him. So she, of course, had to convert to Roman Catholicism in order to marry my grandfather. And she was the most devout Catholic after that you could have ever wanted to meet. She wanted to, when my mother was born, my mother came from a very large family. She had 7 sisters and 3 brothers. And when my mother was born, my grandmother wanted to name her Dolores. But the nuns absolutely would not let her be named Dolores because there was no Saint Dolores. So my mother ended up being Elizabeth Rose Dolores. And I don't think anybody ever heard the Elizabeth but me. She hated it. She went by Dolores her whole life. Well, that is when she got out of Catholic school. But that's the impact the Catholic Church had on my grandmother. They wouldn't let her name her daughter what she wanted. All right, so that looks pretty good for the path, I think, for now. Let's see. What else did I want to do here? I have a couple of small snakes here that I made. Just a couple of Sean Pacific Railroad. Good to see you, Sean. Appreciate you being here. Let's see. Yeah, my mother loved Dolores, although she would have hated the way you just spelled it, John. She insisted it was Dolores. And she actually got rather offended if you spelled it any other way. But then my mother was pig shit Irish, so that's to be expected. So let me see if I... Oh, John 26, good to see you. And your sister's name is Elizabeth Rose. Oh, that's cool. Let's see. Let me... let's see what we got here. So let's... these are just a couple of little snakes. Little like water moccasins that have been scared out of the river here by the motorboat. So they are squirming up to get up into the underbrush and get away from that noise. So these are just a couple of snakes that I made out of milliput. Anybody who may not be familiar with milliput, I mean, it's been around for a while, but it's not really used all that often anymore. It's, let's see, Rick had his legal name changed back in 2005, and when we got married in 2010, the priest would only use his baptized name. People in attendance had no idea who my wife was marrying. Yeah, you know, the Catholics were pretty obnoxious with that stuff, Rick. My parents were, like I said, were both Roman Catholic. They sent me to Catholic school for 8 years. Something I would never inflict on anyone. And let's see. Sean Pacific's mom is from Dublin, Ireland. You're all Catholic and is actually married in the church. Good for you, Sean. That's cool. Heath, yes, milliput, the modeling clay. For anybody who might not be familiar with it, like I started to say, it's a two-part modeling clay. So it's I guess it's an epoxy of sorts. It's something I've used for many years, something that I've always liked using. So let me get this other one planted here, and I'll see if we can get it so you guys can see. Whoops. All right, so let's see. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. No, you can't. All right, so let's see. Ian went to Catholic school for 2 weeks in 5th grade, but they definitely don't know how to handle kids with ADHD. And they don't know how to handle kids, period. I went for 8 years, and I really don't know how any of us learned anything in Catholic school. When a nun would explain something to you, if you didn't get it the first time and you were stupid enough to ask a question, all they did was say the exact same words, angrier and louder, and that was supposed to help. So let me turn this around here a second and see if you can see my little snakes. Let's see here. Where are they? They're over here. Okay, I guess they're not showing up too good. Oh, Missile Hunter 5's here. Good to see you, Missile Hunter. I appreciate you being here. And apparently Rick Bailey doesn't want to put his baptized name in chat. Norman's Catholic friends were all druggies and alcoholics. His kind of folk. Let's see. Okay, so anyhow, you're probably not going to see these all that well, but here are my two little water moccasins running out of the water. They actually show up pretty good in person, but I guess not so great on the stream here. And Artie said the Catholic nuns thought his Christian name was way too barbaric to be in their schools. That sounds like Catholic nuns for sure. Okay, so now what I want to do next here. So I want to put in a few. Raymond Anthony says, as far as model trains go, let's just say he's going big. Big as in large layout or big as in G scale? Okay, so let's see. Right in along here, I want to put in some reeds. So what I have here is an old beat up brush. I'm going to be cutting a few of the bristles off. And using them. So I'm just getting out some paint here. You can't. I realize I'm off screen. Sorry, folks, but I only have so much room to work here. So this is just mixing up a little bit of green and brown paint for the tips of the reeds, the cattails. Not your good brush. No, Artie, actually this is a brush that this afternoon I dug out of the shed and managed to scrape off enough good brushes to good bristles to work for this. So no, I definitely wouldn't be using your good brush. So let's. So I'm modeling this to be summertime, so the cattails wouldn't be all brown yet, but they wouldn't be a bright green either, since they've been out for a while. So it's not springtime anymore. So that's why I mixed in a little brown with the green to dull it down. So now let me cut off some of these bristles. Yeah, CP368, good to see you, Tom. All right. Oops, I should have gotten some glue out. Do that. Yes, Rob, some of the UK guys do some really incredible work with cardstock. All right, so now we will. And this is going to be fun to not get all over my hands. Some glue. Now, let's see. I'm not really going to be able to do this without blocking the camera, so sorry, folks. Ken, this is only a diorama. I actually I started this when I was getting my train room ready for to build a layout, and a buddy of mine had given me a box of HO scale stuff. A lot of it old, a lot of it broken. Well, all of it old. A lot of it was broken and in pretty bad shape. And he told me just, use whatever I wanted and throw the rest away. So he had in there a drawbridge. And the drawbridge was in pretty bad shape. It was probably from the at least the 60s, maybe or older than that. And most of the glue joints had started to fail. And it was just looking pretty ratty. And I almost threw it away. And I decided that it would be a cool diorama to do. So that's what I built this for. I don't have a spot for the bridge on my layout. It's not really appropriate for a drawbridge. So that's why I decided to do this. And this isn't cooperating. So that's why I decided to do this. And then when I actually started building the layout, I kind of set this to the side because I wanted to work on the layout. Yeah, that's not working real well. Let's see. Okay, thanks, Sean. I was using white glue, but that's not working out all that well. Let's see, somebody else said something here that I was just going to answer, but I don't remember. Let's see. I'm sorry I missed that. Randall Ellison is going to his brother's house and retrieve his Jeep. All right, Randall. I'll probably be here if you're not too long. So that was a fail. So we're going to try this again. And let's see, this time we're going to try it with some E6000 or E600, whatever it is, E6000. Yep, you're absolutely right, Rob. Clear silicone would work really well. I don't have any here, but I'm actually thinking the E6000 will work pretty well too. That is, it's a lot stickier than the white glue, and it will dry clear, so it will fit in pretty good with my river. If they will stand up, I think that's going to work a little better. Someone asked about glue, John. Okay, the glue, like I said, the glue I was using was Elmer's, but that's a little too runny and just isn't cooperating. Chasco, good to see you. Appreciate you stopping in, man. So let's see if I can get a few more reads here. So far, the E6000 seems to be working pretty good. Eileen's tacky glue, yes, that would work well too, Sean. Although when I was getting ready for the stream tonight, I discovered that my Eileen's was empty. Am I going to get some mosquitoes from mini prints? Well, this is an HO scale diorama. It's not N scale. Not that you'd be able to see HO scale mosquitoes. But, this may not have been the thing to try live. Dave P. from DES Media Productions. Good to see you, Dave. We'll try one more time here. Problem is, James Galton, the last I heard about Vinny was his announcement video on Friday. He said that he has been in and out of the hospital. He had a number of problems. He had blood pressure issues and breathing issues. But as of Friday afternoon, he was home. But then he didn't, of course, have his live stream Friday, and he didn't have his come back here. His normal premiere on Saturday. So no, I haven't heard anything else from him about him since then. Certainly hope he's doing better. All right. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's right. Like Nora said, he was, as of Friday, he was home. Hopefully that he stays there. Let's see. I think I'm going to try the reeds another time when I'm not trying to reach around microphones and cameras and things like that, because it's just not cooperating here. There's Greg from Midsummer Railway and Scale. Good to see you, Greg. Yeah, I know you were in the hospital. As I recall, it was a fairly serious operation you went in for. Glad to see you in here, and I really hope you're doing well. So, what else can I get into tonight? Since that idea really didn't work out so good. And you're right, Norman, on Friday he did look and sound a little ragged. But I can also imagine he hasn't been getting much sleep. So, let me get rid of this. Okay. And I'm managing to get glue and paint all over myself. All right, let's see. What else can I get into here? The reeds weren't working all that well. I want to put a little bit of grass on this hill here. So I think we'll go with that. And over here as well. He says no stealing his live stream ideas. Doing projects that fail is his thing. Well, maybe I've just been watching too many of yours, Heath. So we're gonna put in a little bit of grass here. Oh, Roy Eltham. I don't know if I know I said hello to you in chat. I didn't know if I said hello to you on screen. So if I didn't, good to see you, Roy. Let's see, Edward's wireless keyboard just died, so he'll be back. Oh, thank you, James. No, I don't really consider this this a failure. Just that part wasn't cooperating. And Rob, no, this will not be added to my layout. This is really it's an entirely different area than my layout. There's no spot for a drawbridge on my layout. I'm not a terribly prototypical modeler. I mean, I to a point, I like to keep, the rolling stock and locomotives roughly in the era that I'm modeling, but mostly the area that I'm modeling I like to keep fairly prototypical, and there's no drawbridges there. Mike the rail artist is not feeling all that well still, so just lurking. Well, Mike, appreciate you being here. Sorry you're not feeling better. Hope you get well soon, man. Let's see. So I'm not trying to cover this area with grass. I'm looking for a fairly worn area. Just a little bit of grass poking through. Let's see, this area on this, over here on the parking lot, I won't be putting any grass. That's the parking lot for the boat ramp. But I do want to add a little bit more in here and back along here and this side. I still haven't decided if I'm going to go with any static grass. I may be, but we'll see. And that looks like a comment I wanted to read. Norman says I'll be auctioning this off at a later date on eBay. You know, it has been suggested to me that I do that. I don't know. We'll see. 16-hour operation, a rare form of cancer. That's a long operation, Greg. So glad you're here, and hope you feel better real soon, man. Mystic Southern bids $500. Whoa, John, you're all right, man. You can make me want to give up taxes and do this for a living. This would be a lot more fun. Under the bridge would be a good place to dispose of an HO scale body if one were so inclined. You know what, John? I never thought of that. But that's interesting. So this is just burnt grass, Woodland Scenics turf that I'm using. This area wouldn't be well maintained, so the grass wouldn't be all that attractive, I'm sure. So let's see. I think I can imagine that a fractured vertebrae takes time to heal, Mike. I hope it goes well, man. Is that a boat ramp down by you? Actually, Jeff, this is modeled after an older boat ramp that used to exist on the Schuylkill River down all around Port Indian, It's basically the Norristown area, a little bit northwest of Norristown area, and it was made up of concrete slabs with just dirt between them, and it was really a great boat ramp. You had because of the concrete slabs, you got a lot of traction pulling a boat out of there. Buddy of mine had a 28-foot pontoon boat, and we had no trouble pulling it out of there. But then once, at some point, they decided that it was too old and needed to be replaced, so they took it out and put a concrete boat ramp, which worked, and it was nice, but it wasn't quite, didn't have quite the appeal that this one does. So that's why I went with this. Okay, let's see. Well, guys, I think that might be about it for the diorama tonight. I really planned on spending a bit more time on the reeds, but that, like I said, I think is going to wait. Most of this work comes from is done here on the live streams. I do very little work between live streams, but I think I'm going to be working on those reeds. In fact, I might be pulling them out and putting new ones in. So let me put you on hold for a second while I reset my camera. Okay, and I'm back. Sorry, John. I just took the music away. Read between the reeds. Rob, okay, that's a good one. At least I have plenty of brush left, so I'll be able to get them. So, like I was saying, I will. Before next month, I will fix my reeds. I'll put get some new ones in there. We're looking a little bit better than those. Get the paint and glue off my fingers. And then next month, I'll probably be planting the trees and starting on the bridge itself, the control booth. The only thing left to do on the control booth, that's all built. It's all built, painted, and detailed. I did show that on a live stream some time ago, but I will refresh everybody when we get back to that. The only thing left to do with that is the windows, and I'll probably be 3D printing them. Although I do have some thin wood, some thin basswood that I might scratch build them out of. We'll see. And then the control booth and the bridge will be ready to install. I just need to get some track. I'm probably going to end up hand laying the track because I do want bridge track going across there. I'll probably do that, not on a live stream. That would get a little tedious to watch, I'm sure. And then it'll just be detailing that, needing some ladders and a few other odds and ends. So really, I think that's about all I have tonight. Don't forget, next week is Heath on Sunday night. Heath at Humanity Junction. Tom should be on tomorrow night, and this Tuesday should be Wilmer from Indian Head Valley Railroad. Yeah, Artie, I better book the cranes. You're right. I do have the bridges here. For anyone who may not have seen this. Good night, Norman. Happy Independence Day to you, sir. This is, yeah, I know, Rob. Central Valley does have some good-looking bridge track. I did kind of want to scratch build it. I've always wanted to hand lay some track, and this would be a perfect opportunity because it doesn't matter how good it turns out. So anyhow, this is the bridge portion of or the drawbridge portion of the drawbridge, and it was, like I said, it was in bad shape. All these glue joints here were failing, and some of the support arms were broken. So I managed to put it back together again, paint it up, and weather it a little bit, get some rust on here, and like I said, I was pretty happy with it, so I decided to go ahead and build the diorama for it. So once again, thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you being here tonight. Hopefully next week I'll be able to make a little bit, or next month I'll be able to make, excuse me, be able to make a little bit more progress on this. And until then, I appreciate everybody hanging out and chatting. And I'll see you in the stream someplace this week. I do have a real short fireworks display for the 4th. So I hope you all enjoy that. Thank you very much for hanging out. And everybody enjoy the holiday. Please be safe. Like Artie and some other people said, don't blow off any body parts, and have a good holiday. We'll see you next time.